Hi, welcome to Vaping Juice TV. This is a short video on what is full spectrum CBD. Now, if you excuse me, I'm wearing some kind of Mexican blanket. CBD isn't just for summers. It's damn cold in our basement, that's why we're filming. So what is full spectrum CBD? You probably heard it a lot, and it's sort of raved about as the CBD to go for. Full spectrum CBD means it's got the entire range of the terpenes and plant matter when you extract from the cannabis plant. Now, there's a number of different ways you get your CBD. One of them is isolate, which is a sort of powder format which is produced from a process called decarboxylation. Can't even say it properly. From CO2 extraction, it comes into a super concentrated powder, sort of 99%. But in the process of the sort of refining, it means you literally have just CBD. You don't really have any terpenes. Now, CBD as a product is touted to be something that's very beneficial, so it's not going to hurt you by not having all the other bits and bobs involved. But when you look at full spectrum CBD, which can be a bit more expensive, it's produced in a slightly different matter. It's a distilled oil, and in the process it doesn't lose all the other additional terpenes and plant matter. So when you have a full spectrum CBD, it means it's got a tiny amount of THC, and that's why when you hear people say, oh, it needs to have a bit of THC in, sort of, which is the stuff that gets you high, but fractional, so it doesn't really get you high. About 0.2% is the legal level in the UK. If it has that in there as well, it means it hasn't been super filtered, and it means it has tons of other chemicals that can be of anti-inflammation benefit, anti-convulsant benefit, anti-fatigue, anti-depression, anti-anti. So I asked many people what CBD is. So there you go, that's full spectrum CBD. That means it's not been isolated down, so when you get a bucket or a distillate, CBD distillate, and it might be about 80%, which is generally where the full spectrum stuff comes from. It has a load of other additional, potentially therapeutical benefits, compounds inside it, whereas isolate is just CBD. Does that mean it's better than CBD isolate? We don't really know. CBD is touted to be the thing that we're all looking for, so CBD in a high purity format, CBD isolate, is probably perfectly adequate. But if you do want the entourage effect, that means the potential benefit of an extra compound that can have an anti-fatigue effect, you're going to get that with the full spectrum CBD. Broad spectrum being the CBD that doesn't have THC in it whatsoever, it's called non-detect. And how they make broad spectrum CBD compared to full spectrum is they just filter it out very aggressively. Really angry, they just filter it out. That takes the THC out of it, but it can take out a few other elements as well, so it might have a few less compounds than full spectrum. There you go, full spectrum, broad spectrum, my Mexican blanket. Show me a bit more respect, please. Ta-da!